Welcome to my channel Daily Bulletin News. Xander and Philip's day in court ends in one getting angry, the other being kissed. Things pick up where they left off yesterday, with Sarah insisting that while she loves her hunky hubby very much, she wouldn't lie for him. Belle goes into full-blown shark mode, asking if Sarah might lie when it came to Xander's attempts to murder Brady. Over Justin's repeated objections, Belle suggests that Xander should be not in the courtroom, but behind bars, following the silliest sidebar ever, in which the attorneys approach the bench as if everyone in the small room can't still hear them. The judge decides a break is needed so she can consider what to do next. During the break, Philip congratulates Belle on her extremely accurate hunch, but worries this might get Sarah in trouble. His attorney insists it won't do that, but will force Xander's hand. Meanwhile, Xander tells Justin that he apologized to Brady and gave him his job back. As far as I knew, he claims, everything was tickety-boo. Translation: essentially, right as rain. Justin warns that Sarah may have to decide whether to confirm her husband tried to kill Xander, or she lies under oath. Sarah realizes that there's a lot on the line, including not only Xander's birthright but his very freedom, as he could be sent away for attempted murder. The judge allows Belle to continue her line of questioning, but with limitations. But when Belle again asks what Sarah knew about Xander's attempt to kill Brady, she invokes spousal privilege. With that avenue shut down, the court recesses while the judge makes her decision. Once alone, Belle tells Philip that despite what just happened, they have a good chance at prevailing. Why? Because while Sarah didn't testify against Xander, her refusal to do so basically made him look guilty as the proverbial sin. Philip's impressed, and she responds, "Well, I was in a room full of karaoke." She smirks, no doubt proud that she knows the plural for of karaokes. "I knew playing by the book wasn't going to get us a win." While talking to Xander, Justin finds out things could have been a whole lot worse. At least Belle didn't bring up the fact that Xander recently tried to shoot Philip. Justin asks that no matter what happens in the courtroom, there will be no more attempts at bloodshed. "Sorry, mate," shrugs Xander, saying he can't make any promises. For her part, Sarah gives Xander her patented sigh, "What am I gonna do with you, look." Philip thanks Belle for all she's done, and she says it's what Victor wanted. Philip flashing back to a truth-revealing conversation with Vivian in which they discuss Victor's forged letter. Belle says she'd much rather see Philip run Titan than Xander. "He has tried to kill literally every member of my family. Brady, Eric, my mother, and don't forget," Philip adds, "that Xander was supposed to kill Sammy for Kristen. Maybe he's not all that bad," jokes Belle as they get word that the judge has made her decision. When everyone returns to the courtroom, the judge makes her ruling, and it's pretty much what we all assumed it would be. She says both men have a valid claim, and therefore they each get 50% of Titan. The men agree that their late father would enjoy seeing them work side by side. "He always was a sadist," admits Xander. Philip suggests perhaps Xander will quit, again, when pigs fly, says Xander, leaving with Sarah rather than shaking on a truce with Philip. Johnny tracks down Alex in the body and soul office, congratulating him on his recent scenes. "Oh, you mean where I was forced to lie to Faith in order to make sure that everything was good for her?" He says that wasn't acting, just art imitating life. Before Alex can beat a hasty retreat, Johnny asks him to stick around long enough for him to say something. Johnny apologizes for having told Chanel that Alex and Joy slept together, saying it was the only cover story he could think of. Given how much experience he's had, you'd think Johnny might be a better liar. Of course, this being Salem, Stephanie is standing right outside the door and hears part of the conversation, allowing her to jump to the wrong conclusion. She says he doesn't owe her an explanation, but is clearly miffed. He wants to explain, but she won't listen, saying he doesn't owe her an explanation, as they're no longer together. Despite that, he comes clean, saying he's not sleeping with Joy. Rather than throw Johnny under the bus, he explains that he slept with Joy, past tense. They agree the various producers should be filled in on his night with Joy, then she exits. Alone, Johnny thanks Alex for keeping up the ruse. Alex hates that Stephanie now thinks he's back to being a player. "You seem to care an awful lot about what she thinks," opines Johnny, to which Alex insists it's because they're friends. Alex isn't thrilled with the situation. "It's really annoying that your little reputation stays squeaky clean while you're just cheating all over your wife," shouts Alex, adding that, "Everyone in town thinks I can't keep it in my pants." They both hope this whole thing will blow over soon. At the same time, Chanel is talking to Joy about her supposed indiscretion with Alex. Chanel says she understands, and that Joy isn't the only person who has had to work closely with someone you slept with. Off Chanel's offer of a shoulder to cry on, Joy talks about her situation with Johnny, but in a way that makes it sound like she means Alex. Rather than make things awkward at work, Joy says she thinks she should stop hanging around Johnny and Chanel. But Chanel doesn't want to lose their friendship. After promising to always be there for Joy, famous last words, Chanel pulls her into a hug. Next thing you know, Joy and Stephanie are running into one another in the Horton Town Square. Joy suggests Steph help her find a Christmas gift for Alex. Naturally, Stephanie says that as the body and soul publicist, it's important she know about relationships going on behind the scenes. Joy, like Alex, insists they're not in a relationship. Despite all these denials flying around, Stephanie gives Joy permission to pursue Alex, saying she just wants him to be happy, and she almost does so without grimacing. In the final moments, Chanel swings by Johnny's office to tell him about her run-in with Joy. Johnny understands why Joy might want to separate her business and private lives, but Chanel says the girl needs their friendship more than ever. Alex runs into Joy, and they compare notes on the fact that Stephanie thinks they slept together. Meanwhile, Stephanie is thrilled to learn that Philip won 50% of Titan. She gives him a congratulatory hug, which he turns into a steamy kiss, and at the Kuryaki's mansion, Sarah tries to put a positive spin on the court decision, suggesting it'll be a chance for the men to get to know one another as brothers. Yeah, snarks Xander, like Cain and Abel. Once alone, Xander turns to Victor's portrait and vows to oust Philip from Titan, if it's the last thing he does. Stay tuned and subscribe the channel.